If you're looking to get into chest rigs, but you don't have a whole lot of money, I'm gonna show you some inexpensive options to get you started. Let's break it down. All right, guys, let's be honest. Chest rigs and any kind of equipment, such as plate carriers or anything of the sort, is expensive. Not everybody has the same amount of money to spend on gear. Some have families, some are in school. I'm gonna show you what I use to get started on my journey that today is still relatively inexpensive. Now, when I was going through college, I got a big boy job, and I went through a schoolhouse that taught me basic rifleman skills, basic fundamentals, and I thought that was prime. I thought I was good to go. And as I progressed and learned more and was around dudes that were higher speed and going to competitions to show off my newfound skills, I was humbled very, very quickly. And it was then when I realized I needed to get more training. I needed to get better at my skill, at my craft. So I started investing in gear, and my first rifle that I went to a course with was set up similar to this. It was a Bushmaster XM 117 or something like that. This is basically my first rifle. And I remember the instructor at my first fighting rifle class singled me out and said, "That's the guy you got to worry about right there. He invests time in his training, not his gear." And at first, I was extremely butthurt by that. You're basically roasting me for not having the Gucci gear out here. And as I grew up and learned, I realized that wasn't a roast, that was a compliment. The guy that invests his time in training and not gear is going to be more proficient downrange. So the first fighting rifle course I went to, I needed a way to carry ammo. And the first setup I used was this here. Here it is. This is the first setup I used. This is what I used when I was in training also, and I didn't know what else to get, so I went out and I bought the same thing that I used. This was a slightly different model, but this is still what I went out and bought. I believe this is the older version with the 4 mag pouches straight across your chest instead of diagonal. So I bought this. I bought a Black Hawk duty belt, and I ended up putting pouches on these. Nice old butt pack. Here's the holster. This is what we used to run with. This is kind of fun, actually. This is what we used to use back in the day, and this is actually the pinnacle of holsters. Before any kind of Kydex, you had something like this with like a little bit of a hard shell, and then you had what was called an airborne strap that would run around here and attach. So this was, in fact, the best type of duty holsters when I got started. GP pouch. This is from Maxpedition. I don't even know they make this anymore. You can see that this is taped up to make it a little more silent. This used to jingle jangle, but general purpose pouches, and then you had your frag pouches here. An old Camelback Mule. Now this did really, really well as an assault pack, and that's kind of what I used it as instead of the hydration pack that it was designed for. But I used this as an assault pack. You could put some stuff in the main compartment here, and then you had 2 fairly good sized general purpose pouches. Now I did upgrade this with some shock cord, so this has some stretch to it and it's not so fixed. So the purpose of me showing you that was to show you that you can use old school gear and get value out of it. You don't need to have the newest, the greatest, the Gucciest equipment. Sure, it looks good on Instagram, but we got to remember you're investing in yourself and getting trained up. If you're in the profession that is going to use this skill, the guy downrange doesn't care what kind of equipment you have. He sees a target and he's going to engage that target. So your gear, your holster does not matter. Well, the only thing that matters is your level of training. So your level of training is going to make the difference whether you walk away from that engagement or you're carried away. All right, guys, real quick, I'll show this just because I know I'm going to get some questions about it. I made a video that goes in depth with this chest rig a lot more, but this one is by Direct Action Gear. Now for what you get, this is actually pretty reasonable as far as price. I believe these run around $350 or $380, something like that. But yeah, under here I have attached some tubular nylon, and I have this braided and then secured up here by the yoke strap, hydration bladder, and then you get general purpose pouches. Now I always recommend, two things I recommend in your chest rig is a light source and some kind of tool. Not necessarily this. Get you a multi-tool. This can be used for different things. When you need to make repairs in the field, I prefer the needle nose, but these work beautifully. And then a light source. Let's get a light source that can unscrew, and we don't have NDs. Dudes used to be like, back in the day, oh, this Velcro, if I have to rip that open to get to my mag, and it's loud and dudes are gonna hear me. Okay, Sam Fisher, why do you need to be so super quiet? And secondly, the only time you're opening mag flaps to get to your magazine is when you're in a fight, when there's 30 people around you shooting at the same time.
God damn it, Cyril!
Woo! That's just nonsense. If you hear somebody say that, they've never been there or done that. Disregard everything they say. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Hopefully you learned something and you take something away from this video. If you did, like, comment, share this video, do all that fun YouTube stuff, and stay tuned because I got more videos coming as far as helmet setups, night vision tutorials, night vision setups, transferring that knowledge that I have from me to you, and get your gear and your kits squared away. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to fill that gap. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I love reading your comments, even the mean ones. All right, guys, at the range, train, stay safe, and I'll see all of you on the next one. See ya.